Pull a TRQ out of the box of totally random questions. I don't think I can relate to this. Today's TRQ, not my handwriting, but I'm not actually, it might be Joel's maybe? I don't think this is yours either. When did you accidentally shoplift?
What?
Is this yours?
No.
It's not mine either.
I didn't take anything. Stop looking at me like I'm guilty.
I don't think I put this one here. When did you accidentally shoplift? If you got a story for that, would you just walk out with it by accident, I suppose? Honestly, I mean, who among us hasn't gotten to the parking lot and been like, ooh, did I pay for this, Diet Coke, this like a 24-pack or whatever?
That's at the bottom of the cart?
Yeah, I probably have done that.
That's the only thing I can think of where it's been on the bottom of the cart. I don't know.
Yeah, I've probably done that. I'll be honest, I didn't walk back in to pay for it either. I just went score free soda.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only thing that I've done where it's like I've taken something. I think, and I don't know if this would count as shoplifting, but it's not my own fault. Have you ever gone to a restaurant where like you ordered a Coca-Cola and then you get your bill and like they didn't charge you for your pops? But that's not on you.
Yeah, that's a lottery win for me then too.
Agree.
You accidentally shoplift ever. That's the TRQ 237 hits. Call, text, voice memo. Hi.
I accidentally stole a bracelet
Whoa.
from a store. I put it on to try it on, and then I was, looking at other stuff and trying on other things, and I left the store wearing it.
Uh-oh. So what was that moment you're like, oh, why do I have this?
I realized I was in a mall, actually. So I realized, after I'd left the store, and I went back and returned it.
See, now that's one of those ones where it's a little bit different than like the random free case of soda, right? Like you got to go back in there because eventually they're going to notice that's gone. They're absolutely going to start checking cameras. Oh, yeah, it's a good thing you went back for that one.
I mean, you're a good person for going back.
It was the right move for sure.
Oh, someone said, this makes me cringe. I had my toddler in the cart juggling things and I gave her a granola bar to keep her quiet. And when we got through checkout, loaded the car, I looked back and realized I had never actually paid for it.
Whoops.
I feel like that probably happens where a kid might take something. I had a friend who they noticed in their backseat that their kid had like grabbed some small toy and they're like, where did you even get that from? And they said the grocery store. And she was like, we did not pay for that. So the cashier must have thought like that was your toy. I didn't even think about putting that on the conveyor belt.
I can't tell you how often I'm rolling through whatever store with little man and I get to the cash register and I'm taking stuff out and I'm like, what? Why do I have this random? And it's the weirdest thing, like a brand box of Kleenex or something. I'm like, I didn't get Kleenex. And you can just see on his face like, oh, you knocked that in here. Like, I don't actually want this random thing.
Yeah, can you take this out of here?
It's never anything that makes sense. Like, oh, great. I don't need this spatula.
Someone said, I accidentally walked out of a gas station with a bag of chips in my hand. Like, I didn't even think about it. Got in my truck, started driving, and then it hit me. I did turn around, went back in, and the cashier stared at me like, what are you doing? And I said, I never actually paid for this.
Whoops.
Good on you for going back.
That time you accidentally shoplift something. You been there?
Someone said, I was a teenager at the mall with my friends. I tried on sunglasses. I ended up walking out still wearing them on my head. And I didn't notice till we were like by the food court. And my friend was like, are you going to go back? I said, absolutely not. I'm too far now. And I wore those sunglasses for years out of guilt.
These are mine now. Thanks.
Someone said when I was like 7, I took a candy bar from the checkout line without my mom seeing, got home, felt so guilty. I started crying. I confessed. She marched me back to the store, made me apologize to the cashier. I've never stolen anything since. It traumatized me.
That's probably the good parenting though, right? Got to go back.
I mean, you learned a lesson.
And did you accidentally shoplift something? Are you one of these people?
Yes. Technically, it was my kids when they were younger, and I was pushing them around in the stroller in the store, and they grabbed like a stuffed animal or something, walked out of the store in the mall, and was too embarrassed to go back.
So you're just like, no, I can't go back. Not for a stuffy. It's just, this is ours now.
Yep. I'm like, I'm not going to get embarrassed for something they grabbed and played with, and then I forgot to pay for it as I left the store. So I don't know which one's more embarrassing. But I'm sure a lot of young mothers have probably done that to their kids grab something they didn't notice it till later.
Oh, I'm sure you're far from the only one. Far from.
Someone said I was 8 months pregnant, exhausted, waddling through the store. I picked up a rotisserie chicken and kind of put it under my arm so I could hold it, but I had other stuff also in my hands. Well, I went to check out. I literally never put the cash or the chicken on the cash register. It was still under my arm when I had walked out. I literally forgot I was holding it the entire time.
Accidental shoplifting.
That accidentally happened to me. I didn't pay for some pants one time, and I took them out of the store. But then I brought them back in the store, and don't you know, security surrounded me. They were like, you didn't pay for this. You stole it. I was like, I'm bringing it back to pay for it, fool. Like, I don't know. What should I have done? Maybe next time you got to, like, call ahead and get a lawyer on standby, just in case they try to bust you for shoplifting. That was stupid.
But the fact that you were in there like, oh, hey, I got to bring this back. They probably, what are you going to do, just come back to show off you stole it?
Someone said, I went inside to prepay for gas. I ended up grabbing a Gatorade while I was in there. I paid for the gas, totally forgot. The drink was in my hand. I just walked out mid-conversation with the cashier. Didn't even realize until I was halfway done drinking it.
Honestly, he probably didn't either.
That's what I was saying. Maybe, would the cashier think you brought it in with you?
Which maybe a person would do. I'd feel really weird just wandering around with a beverage in a store, I guess.
I always have like a water bottle on me, and it used to be like a reusable, but now I'm just using like a normal water bottle. I get nervous to bring those into the store because that's what I'm afraid they're going to think I picked it up in the store. No, check your cameras. I walked in with it.
Well, how sad would that be if they're actually like, all right, yeah, we're going to pull that up right now. Just you have to steer this video of you walking in with the water. It would be the truth. What was your instance of accidentally shoplifting something?
So actually, I recently had a situation where I went into a store and I was trying on different pairs of sunglasses, and one of them looked so great on me, and I just kind of wore them around the store and forgot they were on my face. So I went to the front counter and everything, checked out, got down the street, and I was halfway home, and I was like, man, these glasses are, oh my gosh, I didn't even pay for them, and they were on my face. I just forgot, So I turned around, went back, went to the manager, told her about them, and because I was so honest about it, she just gave them to me.
They were just like, hey, here's some sunglasses. What?
I know, it's crazy. They just gave them to me. It was awesome. I felt like I did the right thing.
I mean, I guess you did, but what a weird message that sends.
Thank you for being honest about shoplifting.
Hey, thanks for being honest. And just so you know, if you're honest, we let you walk out with whatever you want.
I don't think they're going to do that for everyone. It was probably just like, oh, someone actually came forward and said, because I bet you sunglasses, someone texted in about doing that. I bet you it happens. You put it on your head and literally forget. So they might be used to that. And then you're like, oh, look at this good person. You know what? You just keep them. That's a gift for being awesome.
But how uncomfortable would that be, though, if they're like, hey, you got to pay for that. As you're trying to get out the door. Oh, my God. That'd suck.
Someone said one time I had 3 cases of pop on the bottom of the grocery cart, forgot about them, and the cashier didn't see them. Someone else said my kid put a toy under the cart without me seeing. I checked out. We get to the car, and he goes, Mom, look what I got. I was like, where did that come from? I felt so bad. But I had 2 screaming kids. I just drove us home.
Man, I want to accidentally.
Where are you going to put it?
Get some goods. I don't know.
Someone said I went to get some plants, and I had 5 plants, and one of them was small, and I kind of tucked it into another pot so I could hold it, and it ended up not getting scanned because no one saw it. I realized when I got home, and I was like, great, now I'm a plant thief.
I've always wanted a tour of a bank vault before. I sure hope I don't accidentally leave with any of those money bags. This is my fanny pack.
I came in with this.
I really like fanny packs that have dollar signs on them.
This was an accident, I swear, but I, a little while back, I got terminated from my job, and I worked at this kind of high corporate sort of place, and I left with the keys and everything, but I realized after about a week that I still had my company phone, which they are still paying for, and it's been a while now, so yeah.
Oh, so you're still riding this wave then, huh?
Oh, yeah. They're still paying my bill, so I'm going to act dumb until they ask me about it.
I mean, I guess if they just want to give you a free phone forever.
Right?
I think eventually they just be like, hey, do you still have that phone? Or like, how would that work?
At some point, you think someone would realize like they're still paying for it?
You would assume so.
But at the same time, maybe they wouldn't. Like, how many people are a part of this company?
Does it come back on you if they just like forgot to turn it off? You're just like, okay, cool. I guess I'll just keep using this phone.
I bet they could try to make you pay for it.
That would suck.
stink.
Suddenly get that bill that's like hundreds and hundreds or thousands of dollars.
Oh, God. Someone said I had so much stuff at a self-checkout once, and the machine kept freezing, and the employee kept clearing it. And then finally, after it froze another time, they said, oh, you're actually good to go. So I just left, and I never actually paid for anything. Did the person clearing the machine know this?
That's not how that's supposed to work either.
Someone said I had one of those giant packs of paper towels on the bottom of my cart. The cashier didn't notice it. I didn't notice it. I had forgot it was down there. And once I got to the car and I was unloading everything, I realized I never actually paid for that.
And your moment of, I accidentally stole that.
I stole my ex-best friend's engagement ring.
Wait, how?
Yeah, I know. It was a really messy situation. She was cheating on her fiance, who was like my cousin, and it was a big mess, and everyone was fighting, and she took the ring off, and I at some point I picked it up and put it in my pocket, and then like I left, and then when I tried to contact her weeks later, she never answered my calls. She was like speaking really bad about my family on social media, so I was like, screw it, and just kept it.
I love that you kept trying to give it, because you put some effort in trying to give it back to her, right? And she didn't want it. Clearly, she's like, what did I do with this?
Someone said I went through a drive-through coffee place, ordered, pulled up. They hand me my drink, and then they're like, have a good day. I drove off. 10 minutes later, I was like, wait, I never actually paid for anything. I genuinely don't know what happened.
Which usually they're pretty good about it, right? First, they're like, okay,
you pay
this
first.
much.
I also think if it was like a pay it forward, wouldn't they say it like the car in front of you got it?
I think you just choose to believe that's what happened. Wow, they paid it forward to me.
Someone paid it forward.
I wonder if you could try that when they're like, oh, it's going to be like $11.99 and be like, oh, well, but I thought, I heard it was to pay it forward. The fella ahead of me said he was going to pay it forward.
They would not. They're not going to be like, well, he never paid it forward, so I guess you're good to go. No, they'd be like, that guy, sorry, he didn't. Like, you still owe
new move
$6.99.
The guy behind me said he wanted to get my drink. He wanted to pay it backwards.
Listen, I know people love the pay it forwards, but when I was in high school, I worked at Dairy Queen, and it was kind of like the Moorhead Dairy Queen, where it was, well, we only had ice cream. We didn't have any food, and it was like the walk up. So a lot of people would walk up, and it had like the glass all around it. So everyone was always looking in, but a drive through. And I was always working the drive through summer days. And people would be like, I'm paying for the guy behind me. Then the next person would do it. Do you know how annoying it gets as a cashier to do that?
It's quite confusing.
It would get so confusing. Wait, which order is up? I just rang in this order. Oh my, it gets confusing.
I think you're just further pushing my argument of pay it forward's the wrong way to do it. It should be about the pay it backward. You just volunteer the guy behind you to pay.
You can't volunteer someone else to pay for your items.
That goes a couple of times. The guy at the end of the line, they're going to be like, okay, so that was one small black coffee. That'll be $4,000, sir.
Stop.
Sorry. It was a pay it backwards, so.